The Gate of the Lost Garden. Settle comfortably in your place. You may slowly close your eyes. Take a deep breath and let it go. Now I will take you on a calm, peaceful journey. In a small town, there was an old bookstore that people had almost forgotten. The shop windows were covered with years of dust, and the yellow light seeping from inside was like a silent invitation, always trying to draw passers-by in. Today, you decided to come here. You don't quite know why. Maybe it was the restlessness inside you. Maybe curiosity. Or maybe your feet simply led you here. When you opened the door, you heard a small bell ring. Ting! A soft, pleasant sound. Inside, an old man was leaning over a book, reading through thick framed glasses. He looked up at you and smiled gently. "Welcome," he said. His voice was low and soothing. "I was expecting you." "Me?" you asked in surprise. "Yes," the man said. "Everyone comes here sooner or later. Especially those who are searching for peace." The shop was narrow but warm. The shelves were filled with books from floor to ceiling. Some were very old, others had brand new covers. They all had one thing in common: silence. As if each book was quietly waiting to tell its own story. The man stood up and slowly walked toward a shelf. He ran his fingers along the spines of the books, then chose one. It was an old, dusty, leather-bound book. He handed it to you. "This is for you. Read it, and allow it to carry you away." When you took the book in your hands, you felt a warmth. As if the book were alive. You opened the cover. The first page was blank. But on the second page, a sentence was written. "Those who wish to find the lost garden must first learn how to lose themselves." The words seemed to dance before your eyes. And suddenly the bookstore disappeared. You were somewhere else now. When you looked around, you found yourself on a narrow path with stone walls. The walls were covered in moss with vines hanging down. The air was warm, and a gentle breeze touched your face. You could hear faint birdsong in the distance. You began to walk slowly. Your footsteps made a soft sound on the stone path. There was no one around, just you, the path, and sunlight filtering through the trees. After walking for a while, the path widened, and you found yourself in front of a large, ancient garden. At the entrance stood a tall iron gate. It was rusty, yet still magnificent. Floral patterns were carved into it, so detailed they almost looked real. You approached the gate and touched it. The iron was cold. When you gently pushed it, the gate creaked open, and you stepped inside. The garden was indescribable. It was filled with flowers everywhere. Purple lavender, white daisies, red poppies. The colors were so vivid they dazzled your eyes. But it wasn't blinding, it was peaceful. No matter how wide you opened your eyes, you felt at ease. At the center of the garden was a small pond. The water was still and clear. Beside the pond was an old stone bench. You walked toward it. With every step, The grass softly crunched beneath your feet. The air was sweet, filled with the scent of flowers. You sat on the bench and looked at the pond. The water was so calm that the sky was reflected in it. Clouds drifted slowly across the surface. A frog jumped into the water, creating ripples. The waves spread gently, then settled again. You didn't know how long you sat there. Time flowed differently here. Minutes? Hours? It didn't matter. You were just sitting and watching. Then you heard a voice, soft, gentle. You turned and saw a woman. She was wearing a long white dress. Her hair was silver, gently flowing in the breeze. She was smiling. "Hello," she said. "Is this your first time visiting?"
You nodded. Yes. What is this place? The Lost Garden, the woman said. A place only those who seek peace can find. If you are here, it means you found it. But I don't know how I came here, you said. The woman laughed. Her laughter was melodic, like a song. No one does, but everyone comes here when they truly want to. Your inner restlessness brought you here. She sat beside you. You were silent for a while. Then she spoke again. "This garden is very old," she said. "It has been here for centuries. No one knows where it came from. Some say a wizard created it. Some say it is a piece of heaven. Others say it's just a dream. But the truth is this: it is real, at least as long as it feels real to you." As you listened, you observed your surroundings. Butterflies fluttered from flower to flower. The wind softly rustled the leaves of the trees. Everything was in harmony, like a symphony. "Why did you come here?" the woman asked. You thought for a moment. "I don't know," you finally said. "I was just restless. There was an emptiness inside me. I couldn't fill it." The woman nodded. "I understand. Many people say the same thing. The world spins very fast. People run without stopping, and one day they stop and look around and realize there is nothing there, just emptiness." "Yes, that's exactly how I feel." "That's why you're here," she said with a smile. "This garden exists to give you something, but I won't tell you what it is. You will discover it." She stood up. "Come, let me show you around." You stood and began walking with her. The garden was much larger than you had imagined. At every corner you discovered something new. In one place there was a giant plane tree. Its branches were so wide that dozens of people could rest in its shade. On its trunk there was a door. Yes, a door, a small wooden door. "What is that?" you asked. "A door that leads inside the tree. There is another world inside, but you must be ready to enter. Not now, maybe another time." As you walked, the garden kept changing. There was a bamboo forest where the stalks swayed and made soft clicking sounds, a lavender field where purple waves moved with the wind, a rose garden with roses of every color, red, pink, yellow, white, orange. The woman picked a rose and handed it to you. "Take it," she said. "Let it remind you." You took the rose and breathed in its scent. It was sweet and deep. You closed your eyes and simply smelled it. In that moment, everything disappeared. There was only the scent, and with it came peace. When you opened your eyes, you were in a different place. She wiped her eyes. "Do you really think so?" "Yes," you said. "And one more thing. Sometimes life pushes us hard, but those hardships make us stronger. Even if it's difficult now, one day you'll look back and see that you became who you are today because of those struggles. The girl thought for a moment. Then she smiled faintly. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. You're welcome, you said. And remember, you're not alone. There are people around you who love you and care about you. Sometimes we just fail to see them. The girl stood up. I'm glad we talked. I feel better now. I'm glad, you said. She left. You stayed there. And you felt happy because you had been able to help her. Maybe it was a small help, but it mattered. When you returned home that evening, the sky was beginning to darken. It was colorful again, orange, pink, purple. You stepped onto the balcony, pulled a chair, and sat down. You watched the sky. The sun was setting, slowly, patiently. Everything had its time. The time for the sun to rise, the time to set, the time for flowers to bloom, the time to fade, the time for people to be born, the time to die. But now you were here, you were alive, and that was enough. Your phone rang. It was your mother. You answered. Hello, Mom. Hello, my dear. How are you? I'm fine, Mom. How about you? I'm fine too, but I miss you. When will you come? You thought for a moment. I can come this weekend. How does that sound? That's wonderful. I'd love that. You talked a little more, then hung up, and you noticed something. Your voice was light, calm, happy. In the past, you used to rush through phone calls, but not anymore. Now you listened. You made time. Because life was very short, and every moment spent with loved ones was precious. That night, you went to bed early again. But this time, the sleep was deeper. You dreamed. Beautiful dreams. In one dream, you found yourself at the top of mountains. You looked around. Everything was covered with clouds. You were above them. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, the wind was blowing, not harsh, but gentle. You stood there, and you felt it. Freedom, lightness, as if you could fly. And you did. You spread your arms and let yourself go. You fell, but you weren't afraid, because you knew everything was okay. You passed through the clouds. They were soft, full of moisture. You looked down. You saw green forests, blue rivers, colorful flower fields. And you saw the woman. She was standing below on a hill, waving at you. You landed and walked toward her. You came again, the woman said with a smile. Yes, I guess it's becoming a habit. A good habit, she said. Everyone should have a place like this, a place where they can rest and find themselves. You taught me so much, you said. No, she replied. I only reminded you. You already knew everything. You had just forgotten. She took you back to the garden, but this time the garden was even more beautiful. More flowers, more colors, more light. The garden is growing, she said, because you are growing. As the peace inside you grows, the garden grows too. You looked around. She was right. The garden had truly expanded, and it wasn't just flowers anymore. There were trees now, birds, butterflies, bees. It was an ecosystem, alive, breathing. As you walked through the garden, you saw different people, some young, some old, some happy, some sad, but they were all there, all searching for peace. You approached one of them. An old man was sitting under a tree. Hello, you said. He looked up. Hello, my son. Did you find this place too? Yes, he said, years ago, and I've been here ever since. Always? Yes, because there's nothing left for me outside. I'm at peace here. That saddened you a little. But life is outside. People, experiences, memories. The old man smiled. You're right, but I've lived my life. Now it's time to rest, and I rest here. You understood. Everyone had their own path.
Some stayed in the garden, some came and went. Both were right. "May I ask you something?" you said. "Of course. Do you have any regrets in your life?" He thought for a long time. Then he spoke. "I have regrets, of course, but you know, regret doesn't bring back time. It only steals the present. I chose to stop regretting. What happened, happened. Now I'm here, and that's enough for me." Those words gave you a lot. Maybe you were carrying many regrets too. Maybe it was time to let them go. You left the garden, but this time by a different path. The path led you to the foot of a mountain. It was tall, but it looked climbable. You began to climb, slowly, without a rush, carefully placing each step. You grew out of breath, but you didn't stop, because you knew the summit was near. And finally, you reached it. The view was breathtaking. You could see everything: forests, rivers, mountains, valleys, the sky, everything. You stood there. The wind blew, tousling your hair, but you weren't cold. You were warm inside. You sat on a rock and simply watched. The sun was setting. The sky once again dressed itself in magnificent colors: golden yellow, fiery red, lavender purple. And in that moment, you understood. This was life. This view, this moment, this feeling. Life wasn't complicated. People made it complicated. At its core, life was simple: breathing, feeling, living. You closed your eyes. You felt the wind. You felt the sun's last rays. You felt the firmness of the ground. And you felt yourself. You existed. You were here. And that was a miracle. When you woke from the dream, it was morning. But a different kind of morning. You had woken up very early. The sun hadn't risen yet. You got up and went to the window. The sky was pink. The sun wasn't visible yet, but its light was already painting the sky. You watched that moment, the birth of the day, a new beginning, and you decided today would be different. Today you would be fully present. You wouldn't think about the past or the future, only now. You got dressed and went outside. The streets were quiet. No one was around yet, just you and the morning. You walked through unfamiliar streets, undiscovered paths. Every corner was a surprise. You saw a cat and bent down to pet it. You saw a flower and leaned in to smell it. You saw a tree and touched its bark. Everything was new. Everything felt like the first time. You reached a park. It was empty. Only birds were there, chirping happily, as if greeting the day. You did the same. You opened your arms to the sky and greeted the day. "Hello, new day. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here." Simple words, but sincere, and that was enough. The sun rose higher. The park came alive. Runners arrived. Elderly people arrived. Children arrived. You sat there and watched. Everyone, without judgment, just observing. Why was that man running? Maybe he wanted to be healthy. Maybe he was releasing stress. Maybe he simply loved running. Why was that woman reading a book? Maybe she wanted to learn. Maybe she wanted to escape reality. Maybe she just loved reading. Why was that child playing? Because he was a child, and children play. Everyone had a story, and every story mattered. A dog came up to you, wagging its tail. You bent down and petted it. The dog was happy. It licked your hand. "Hello, my friend," you said. "You're having a nice day too, aren't you?" The dog barked, as if saying yes. Its owner came over. "I'm sorry if he bothered you." "No," you said with a smile. "Not at all. It was lovely." She smiled too. "Have a nice day." "You too." At noon, you got hungry, but you didn't go home. You found a small restaurant and went inside. It was warm and welcoming. An old man greeted you. "Welcome, my son. What would you like?" You looked at the menu. What's the soup of the day? Lentil. We made it fresh. That'll do. And a salad, please. Coming right up. While waiting, you looked around. Old photographs hung on the walls, black and white. People, places, moments, all from the past. The food arrived. The soup was hot and delicious. The salad was fresh. You ate slowly, savoring every bite. The old man came by. How is it? Do you like it? It's wonderful, thank you. Thank you, my son. I've been doing this for years, but I still do it with love. That's obvious, you said. There's love in your food. He smiled. You know, food isn't just food, it's a language. It speaks of love, devotion, patience. I think about that while cooking. That's a beautiful perspective, you said. Life is all about perspective, he replied. How you look at it is how you see it. I chose to see life beautifully. He left, but his words stayed, and they made you think. How did you look at life? In the past, you had been very negative. You saw problems everywhere. But now you had changed. You had started to see beauty. And that change had changed your life. That afternoon, you went to a library. You wandered among the books, running your fingers along their spines. One book caught your attention.
The Power of Now. You took it and sat in a corner. You started reading. The book described exactly what you were experiencing, living in the present, letting go of the past, not worrying about the future. You read for hours. You found yourself between the lines. The author spoke your language. One passage touched you deeply. Most people live in the past or the future. They think about regrets from the past or worries about the future. But life is now, only now. The past is gone, the future hasn't arrived. There is only now. And if you miss the now, you miss everything. It was true. That's how you used to live, but not anymore. You closed the book. You felt peaceful, as if the book had sent you a message. You're on the right path. Keep going. Evening came. When you left the library, the sky was darkening. You walked, but this time not home. You walked toward the hills. When you reached the top, you were out of breath, but you were happy. The city lay below. Lights were turning on. A sea of lights formed. You sat and watched. The sun was setting. The city was awakening. Two opposite movements, both beautiful. Someone came and sat next to you, a young man with a guitar. Hello, he said. May I sit here? Of course. He took out his guitar. May I play? Would it bother you? No, please. He started playing, a soft, melancholic melody, but hopeful. You closed your eyes and listened. The music sank into your soul. Every note was an emotion: joy, sadness, longing, hope. When he finished, you applauded. That was beautiful. Thank you. No, thank you, he said, for listening. Did you write that song? Yes, I was going through a difficult time. Music saved me. I understand, you said. I had hard times too, but somehow I found my way. How? He asked curiously. I stopped, you said. I just stopped and listened. I listened to myself, to what my inner voice was saying, and it showed me the way. He nodded. You're right. Sometimes all the answers are inside us. We just need to listen. You talked a little more, then he stood up. I should go, but thank you. This conversation helped me. It helped me too, you said. Have a good evening. You too. You were alone again, but loneliness no longer felt bad, because solitude and loneliness were different. Solitude was a choice. Loneliness was a burden. You had chosen solitude, and it was peaceful. You looked at the sky. Stars were beginning to appear. 1, 2, 3. Too many to count. Each star was a world.
Maybe somewhere out there, someone was looking at the sky just like you. Maybe they were searching for peace. Maybe they had found it. The universe was vast, but you were a part of it, small but important. You closed your eyes, and you went to your inner garden. The woman was there, waiting for you. You came, she said. Yes, I missed you. She smiled. I'm always here, I never left. I know, sometimes I just forget to come. That's okay. Forgetting is part of being human. What matters is remembering. You walked together. The garden was more beautiful than ever. Moonlight made everything shimmer like silver. Are you happy?
You thought, yes, I think I am. For the first time in a long time, I truly feel happy. What changed? I changed. My perspective changed. I no longer want more all the time. I'm grateful for what I have. That's beautiful, she said. It's a big step. Many people never learn this. I learned it because of you. No, she smiled. You already knew it. I just reminded you. When you opened your eyes, you were still on the hill. But you were tired. It was time to go home. You stood up and started walking down. Your steps were slow but steady. When you got home, it was close to midnight. You were tired but happy. You had lived a very special day. You took a shower. Warm water wrapped around your body. You closed your eyes and listened to the sound of the water. When you stepped out, you felt light, as if all the fatigue and stress had washed away. You lay in bed, pulled the blanket over yourself, rested your head on the pillow. It was soft, comfortable. You closed your eyes and began to breathe. Slow, deep breaths. In, out. In, out. Your body relaxed. Your muscles softened. Your mind calmed. And slowly, you fell asleep. In your dream, you were in the garden again. But this time, there was a celebration. People had gathered. Music was playing. Food was everywhere. Everyone was happy. You joined the celebration. You danced, laughed, enjoyed yourself. No worries, no troubles, only the moment. You saw the woman. She was dancing. You joined her. What is this? You asked. A celebration of life, she said. Every day should be celebrated, because every day is a gift. You're right. Every day is a gift. You danced, music played, people laughed, flowers swayed, the wind blew, and you were happy, completely, fully. You woke up the next morning with the sun. Light touched your face. You rubbed your eyes and stretched. You had seen a beautiful dream, and you were still happy. You got up and started the day, but this time there was a different energy inside you. Lighter, more alive, more hopeful. You had breakfast, got ready for work, but without rushing, doing everything slowly, consciously. On your way to work, you smiled at people. Some smiled back, some looked surprised, but you kept going, because happiness was contagious. At work, the security guard greeted you. Good morning. You look very cheerful today. Good morning. Yes, it's a beautiful day. Every day is beautiful, he said. We just have to notice it. His words surprised you. Maybe everyone knew the same truth. They just needed to remember. The day passed easily. You worked, attended meetings, completed projects, but none of it exhausted you, because you did everything without resistance, without complaint. You let it flow. During lunch break, you went to the park. You sat and ate your sandwich. You watched the birds, the trees, the people. Everything was in its place. The universe was working perfectly.
An old man came and sat next to you. May I sit? Of course. He was silent for a long time. Then he spoke. Young man, may I ask you something? Go ahead. Are you happy? You thought. Yes, I am happy. How do you do it? Being happy in this world is hard. I don't know, you said. I think I decided to be happy, not when conditions are perfect, but now, as I am. He nodded. You're a wise man. Most people look for happiness outside, but it's inside. Yes, you said. Exactly. He stood up. Thank you. This conversation gave me hope. You're welcome. He left, and you were alone again, but this time, consciously alone, and it was beautiful. That evening, a surprise awaited you at home. There was a package at your door. You took it inside and opened it. Inside was a note and a book. You read the note. Dear friend, I thought of you and wanted to send you this book. I hope you like it. It's a special one for you. With love, a friend. You didn't know who sent it, but it didn't matter. The thought was beautiful. You looked at the book. The Art of Peace. You opened the first page. Peace is not a place. Peace is a feeling. And that feeling lives within us. We only need to discover it. You smiled. Yes, exactly. You read that night. Every page was a lesson. Every paragraph a teaching. And you realized this journey was endless. Every day you learned something new. Every day you grew. Weeks passed. Months passed. But you didn't lose your peace. You had found it, and you protected it. Of course, there were hard days, stress, sadness. But they no longer destroyed you because you knew they were temporary. Everything was temporary. One day, a friend asked you, "What's your secret?" You've changed. You're so calm. You smiled. There's no secret. I just went inside myself, made peace with who I am, and that changed everything. How did you do it? I stopped. I listened. I discovered a garden inside me, and I learned how to go there. Garden? Your friend asked, confused. Yes, everyone has one. A garden of peace. You just have to find it. Do I have one too? Of course, everyone does. How do I find it? Slow down. Stop. Breathe. And listen. Listen inside. It will show you the way. Your friend thanked you. And you knew maybe you had helped him too. Maybe he would find his garden. Seasons changed. Summer came, then autumn, then winter, then spring. And you watched the cycle. Every season was beautiful. Summer's warmth, autumn's colors, winter's silence, spring's renewal. Each season was a teacher. And you were a good student. One day, when you went to your inner garden, you were surprised. It had grown immensely. Forests, mountains, rivers, lakes. Everything was there. The woman greeted you. See how big your garden has become. Yes, you said in awe. It's incredible. Because you've grown. As you grow inside, the garden grows too, and one day it will grow so large that it will include others, and they will discover their own gardens. That's beautiful, you said. Yes, she replied. Peace is contagious. It starts with one person, then spreads, and one day maybe the whole world becomes a garden of peace. That thought filled you with hope. That night, as you lay in bed, you were happy.
You had come a long way. You had been lost, then found, broken, then healed. You had cried, and you had laughed. And now you were here, peaceful, healthy, happy. You closed your eyes and went to your garden one last time. The woman was there, but she looked different, brighter, more radiant. "Is this your last visit?" she asked. "No," you said, "but maybe I won't need to come as often, because the garden is always with me now, even when my eyes are open." She smiled. "That's right, you're ready. You can carry the garden with you. But know this, I'm always here. Whenever you want, you can come." "Thank you," you said, "for everything." "No," she replied. "Thank you. You were the one who took this journey. You were the one who had courage. I only showed the way." You hugged her, long, warm. Then you left, walking out of the garden without fear, without sadness, because you knew the garden was always with you. When you opened your eyes, you were in your room. It was dark and quiet, but inside you were full of light. You slowly got up and went to the window. It was midnight. Stars were shining. You looked at one star and whispered inside, "Thank you. Thank you for this journey." The star shimmered, as if answering, "You're welcome. But know this, the journey isn't over. It's just beginning." You smiled. It was right. Life was a journey, and it would continue until the end. But you weren't afraid anymore, because you knew the way. You had your inner compass. You returned to bed, pulled the blanket over you, and fell asleep in peace. Epilogue. Years later. You had grown old. Your hair was gray, your face was wrinkled, but your eyes still shone. One day, your grandchild came to you. "Grandpa, can I ask you something?" "Of course, my dear." "Do you ever feel unhappy?" You smiled. "Of course I do. I'm human, but unhappiness doesn't stay with me long, because I have a secret." "What secret?" "I have a garden inside me. Whenever I'm sad, I go there, and I find peace." Your grandchild looked curious. "A garden? Where is it?" "Inside me," you said, pointing to your chest. "And you do too." "I do?" "Yes, everyone does. You just need to discover it." "How do I discover it?" You leaned closer and looked into your grandchild's eyes. "Listen. Listen inside. Be quiet. Breathe. It will show you the way." "I'll try," your grandchild said. "You will," you replied, "and one day you'll find it, and when you do, you'll understand everything." Your grandchild left. You stayed there, old but wise, tired but peaceful. You closed your eyes and went to your garden one last time. The woman was there, but now she looked older too, or maybe she had always been old. You weren't sure. "You came," she said. "Yes, one last time. I know, your time has come." "Am I afraid?" you asked. "No," she said, "you're no longer afraid, because you know, death isn't an end, it's a transition to another garden." "Another garden?" "Yes, a bigger one, a more beautiful one, an infinite garden." That comforted you. "Will I see you there?" "Maybe," she smiled, "or maybe I'm already there. Who knows?" You laughed. "Mysterious woman." Life is mysterious, but beautiful, and you learned that. That's why you're at peace. You hugged her one last time. "Goodbye." "Not goodbye," she said. "See you again." You opened your eyes. You were in your room. Your family surrounded you, holding your hands. They were crying, but you were smiling. "Don't cry," you said softly. "I'm happy, very happy. I had a beautiful life, and I will have a beautiful death." "Don't go, Grandpa," your grandchild cried. "We love you." "I love you too, very much.
but my time has come, and I'm ready. You closed your eyes slowly, your breath slowed, your heart slowed, and one last breath. You saw light, bright, warm. You walked toward it, and you found yourself in the garden, but this garden was different, bigger, more magnificent, more beautiful. The woman greeted you, but she was no longer a woman, she was light, pure light. "Welcome," she said. "You finally arrived. This place, you couldn't find the words. Heaven," the light said, "or whatever you choose to call it, a place of eternal peace, and now you are here forever." You looked around, you saw your loved ones, those you had lost. They were all there, smiling, embracing. You joined them. There was no pain, no sorrow, no fear, only love, pure, unconditional love, and peace, infinite peace.
The end. But not really, because stories never truly end. Someone tells a story, someone else listens, and the story continues to live. Now you have listened to this story, and maybe you will write your own. Maybe you will find your own garden, and one day you will tell others, and the cycle will continue. The cycle of peace, the cycle of love, the cycle of life. Now, breathe comfortably. In, out. Let your body relax completely. Your arms soften, your legs soften, your shoulders drop, your jaw relaxes. Everything softens. You can sleep now. A peaceful sleep. Beautiful dreams. And tomorrow you will wake up to a new day, new opportunities. But you will carry this garden inside you. Always. Everywhere. Good night. Sleep now. Sleep. Silence. Only your breath. In, out. Slow, steady. Sleep is coming. Your eyes are getting heavy. Your body is sinking into the bed. Soft, warm. You are safe. You are at peace. Sleep, sleep. Good night.